Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video lesson I'm going to answer to a question that I received from Scott a couple of days ago, I think, and he asked me about double consonants in Italian. The aim of this video is trying to let you understand how important it is to actually pronounce the double consonants in Italian. The meaning of a word can totally change if you do not pronounce the double consonant in the word. I have a couple of examples for you, so let's start. So the first example will be Palla and Pala. So if you pronounce Palla, so you emphasize the L, because in Palla there is a double L, it means ball in English. Whereas if you pronounce Pala with just one L, it means shovel. So if you mean the ball, the round object, you have to stress the double L. So palla, palla, palla. And the double L sound is quite long compared to the L sound in pala, pala. You see, it's short, while in palla it is longer. So that could be a trick to pronouncing double consonants in Italian. Elongate the sound of the consonant. Then another example is Capello and Capillo. Capello means hat, while Capello with one P is hair, because in Italian it is countable. So we say one hair, two hairs, even though it is not the same in English, I know, because hair is uncountable. But in Italian it is un capello, actually meaning just one, and due capelli. If you do not pronounce the double P and you mean hat, cappello, you might get across the wrong message. I mean, you could get like misunderstanding in the conversation, but it wouldn't be anything too dangerous. Whereas the misunderstanding could get a bit hilarious if you are getting to know someone and you ask them how old he or she is. The translation for how old are you is quanti anni hai. Anni with double N. Be careful, because if you do not pronounce the double N, it could result in ani, which is anus, the translation is. So be careful when you ask the age of someone. So anni, anni, double N. You really have to stress that N. If you say Serra, Serra, it means greenhouse. If you do not pronounce the double R, it becomes sera, which is evening. Now, the R is rather difficult for English speakers, because the R is quite soft in English. So I can imagine that the double R is even more difficult than it is to pronounce the simple R. You just have to practice, because I think that's the only way you can pronounce the double R or the R in general in Italian. For those of you who speak Spanish, no problem at all, because the R is quite strong in Spanish too, so you will have no problem in pronouncing Serra or other words containing R. Then another example will be sette, sette, which is the number 7. If you do not pronounce the double T, it becomes sete, which means thirst, like when you're thirsty. Io ho sete, I am thirsty. Then we've got Penna, which is the object you write with, and it means pen. And if you do not pronounce the double N, it becomes pena, pena, which means pain, suffering. So penna, pena. Pronouncing double consonants does not concern just vocabulary, but it concerns also verbs. So, for example, the verb mangiare, which means to eat. Let's take the future tense. Io mangerò, tu mangerai, lui mangerà, noi mangeremo, voi mangerete, essi mangeranno. Let's take the present tense conditional. Io mangerei, tu mangeresti, egli mangerebbe, noi mangeremmo, voi mangereste, essi mangerebbero. Now, you see the difference. If you pronounce it with noi mangeremmo, double M, it is present tense conditional, and it means we would eat. Whereas, if you pronounce it with just one M, so noi mangeremo, it becomes future tense, and it means we will eat. So you see, you have to be careful also with verbs. Now, I have got some rules for you. There is one letter in the Italian alphabet which never redoubles in a word. There is just one exception, and it is the word soqquadro, which has double Q. And soqquadro means confusione, so mess basically, and it is not used very often. Soqquadro is the only word in Italian which has double Q. Then another rule is that letter Z and letter G do not redouble in words ending with ione. So, for example, colazione, stazione, emozione, stagione. You could tell me, yes, but when you speak, it sounds like you redouble those letters in a word. Yes, but it's just because I come from the center of Italy. I come from Rome. So people from the center and the south tend to stress letters which do not redouble. Should we call it a dialect feature? It's just something that characterizes our way of speaking, but I would never ever write stazione with two Z, because it's not right in Italian. It's not right at all. On the other hand, people from the north tend not to pronounce the double consonant when there is a double consonant to be pronounced in a word. But you have to learn the right things. So, colazione, stazione. I'm trying not to stress the Z. Colazione, stazione. You pronounce it with just one Z because that's the way it is in Italian. Last rule is letter B does not redouble in words that end in bile. So, amabile, immobile, agibile. So, the B does not redouble in words that end in bile. I know I talked just in English in this video, so please forgive me. I had to tell you some basics today, so I've decided to talk in English because I wanted everybody to understand, even those of you who are just beginning to learn Italian. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and that you learned something new as usual, and don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up to this video. Oh, thumbs up in Italian, because there was one person asking me how to say thumbs up in Italian. Thumbs up in Italian is pollici in su. Thumb is pollice. The plural is pollici, so up is su. So put everything together and you will have pollici in su. That was it for today. Ciao ciao!